Hi guys, happy Friday. I hate Friday. Hate Friday. Love Sunday night. Love Mondays. Hate Friday. So, alright, we're just gonna jump right back into Traditional Witchcraft with the castles, the Druid's Egg, and the Glass Sphere. So this kind of, to me, it looks like a little bit of the Hierophant in the tarot. So, alright, now we have Glox's Summer Solstice post. Sparked an interesting dinner table conversation at our house, is what this says. So this is often how magic and the craft works for us. It's very much a family affair and very much a crooked and winding path. So nothing is simple and direct. Neither of us sees the whole picture for what it is. One of us has an insight and the other rounds it out. So it's it's true, very interesting, very true. So in Tuesday's post, Glox wrote about the way in which snakes were believed to curl themselves into balls, harden into stone or glass. When she left unsaid in the post is something that excited us both at the table. So you see, one of the parts of American folkloric witchcraft, as it is coming to us, has to do with a system of castles that are associated with the 4 solar holidays of the year, the equinoxes and solstices. So Robert Cochrane, love him, writes a bit about castle structure in his letters, and is something that resounded very significantly with us. So the former HPS, who had studied at one time with a daughter coven in the ancient Celtic Church, had also taught them and their coven mates a bit about magical castle, but truly only enough to whet our appetites and then leave us wanting more. Well, that figures, everything goes that way. So, alright, so where'd I go? Okay, so most of what Glox and I have come to understand about the castles, we come to via inspiration. So, research and luck. We work with 5 castles, one in each cross quarter of the compass and on its center. So the 4 cross quarters are kept by 2 kings and 2 queens, who each guard treasures within their walls. It's interesting. Very interesting, actually. So, at the northwest, Janicot holds court in the glass castle, guarding the glass orb, honored at the winter solstice. In the southwest sits Cernunius in the stone castle with the stone bowl. I love that. I have to make that stone bowl. Honored at the summer solstice. So now at the northeast is Hulda in the castle of Revelry, keeping watch over a golden lantern honored at the spring equinox, which will be coming up. So while Sedwin holds court at Castle Perlius with the silver chalice and honored at the fall equinox. So that's pretty interesting. I like. So there is a great deal of symbolism worked into the formation in the paragraph above. So we'll be getting into it in entries to follow. With just this in hand, you have a lot that you can parse out. You can also look at this graphic with Grace's our blog, which Grace's the blog for the treasure symbols. So the Triskel is the center represents the spiral castle, and I will actually put this on the thumbnail for you guys to see. So, what had Glox and I excited? What had Glox and I excited was the fact that the snakes didn't turn into druids' eggs. Only on summer solstice, this phenomena happened at both solstices, and the snakes were described as both stone and glass bubbles. Well, what we do have as our treasures at the solstices: a stone bowl, which we describe being made of stone and being filled with stones, and a glass orb or a bubble. That stone bowl passage, that was a great one. So, the full magic of the castles is still elusive, and we know that we are questing, and always will be, to understand it, but confirmations that our path is true, a little bit crooked, makes us 2 very happy witches. So the Druid's Egg. That's really interesting. That is really interesting. I like that. I like the idea of the Druid's egg. I love that. I think it's really cool. It's really neat. So, we've gone through a lot of stuff. Alright, so we have Ertz, this southern gate. So this is like a castle as well. So now we have the southern gate, heir of earth. Values are growth, experience, authority, money, physicality, security, and nourishment. Colors are brown, reset, black, and green. Symbols are square stone, cornucopia, the skith, salt, cart, plate, gnomes. Tools, the casting bowl, patens, and pentacles or horns. Weapons would be the shield. The totems would be swan horse and an apple tree. Musical instruments would be the drums. The times would be Lunasad, noon, summer, and coming of age. Places would be fields, mountains, valleys, canyons, deserts, forests, gardens. The zodiac associated with this is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Sense is to touch. Power to keep silent. Process, brushing hair, skin, grounding, eating, burying, and binding. So, you can visualize the gates, the portals to each of the 4 cardinal directions in any way you like. So, but I like visualizing 2-legged dolmen, or even that sort of a wooden gate that is common on ranches. I like to see mine as pillars. Pillars like in Egypt. That's just what I do. So, okay, so the southern gate is very much associated with the mortal realms of our realm. Consciousness and the consensus reality. So it is the gateway to the green world, the magic of this plane that we inhabit. It is noontime, bright day, midst summer's abundance place. So because it is representative of consensus reality, some people might mistakenly assume that nothing is secret, hidden, or mysterious through the southern gate. So this is an illusion, though, and one of the challenges is coming to truly know this place, for it is the realm of the good neighbors, the little folk, and the fae. Oh, I love the fae. So, Goda is the queen of Elfheim, riding forth from her barrow. She is the white goddess upon her white horse. So she is the lady of sacrifice, linking her earthen power to the first harvest, the red day of Lunasad. She is the sovereignty goddess, with whom the king must contain in order to rule, and it is under her auspices that the king's life is taken in order to feed the land and the people. So on our year wheel, the southern gate is open and most easily accessed with Lunasad, and the 3 totems that sit there are intimately linked with sovereignty and self-mastery. So this is the time for reaping the first harvest, playing games, and settling into the work of approaching autumn. So, I wish it was autumn again. I do. This is really interesting. I mean, really, really interesting. And the gates. I can't find anything else about the gates. There's just nothing. So, let's see if we can find another gate. I want to find all the gates. And I know I probably can't. Yeah, I don't know where they all went. I do not know where they all went. Wow. Well, this is interesting. Yeah, I don't know where they went. I will find them, though. I will definitely find them. Maybe. I don't know where they went, so. But I mean, that's just, I love that. I love the idea of the castles. Like, I really, really do. I love the whole idea of the castles, and yeah, it just does not look like that I'm going to find it. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see, let's do castle. I'll just search for castles. Castles, there we go. I don't know. Alright, we have... Okay, now we have the Castle of Stone. Okay, so... four-cornered castle, Monton Bailey, top open to the sky, siege place, warriors fort, training, defense, offense, strategy, hill fort, castillo, not a place of luxury, guarded by legged creatures, crawlers and walkers, home of Cernunius, summer solstice, noon, and mysteries of the rebirth. So the castles of our system are based on Grail lore. So, but they also have representations in the non-world. So these castles are symbolic of the energies that inherent in their names and attributed to them by myth and legend. So in the Arthurian cycle, the knights journeyed to 7 castles. The most mythographers interpreted this Imram as an outworldly voyage, akin to the shaman's journey into the soul, using the world tree as a ladder. So Robert Graves in The White Goddess indicates that each of the 7 castles is synonymous. I can't say that word. I hate that word. Synonymous, whatever, with the spiral castle. So, or the Caer Aranhad. So Graves' interpretation makes good sense to us. Each of the castles is intimately connected in symbolism and meaning, and it is impossible to separate any one of them from Gestalt or Cerside. It is based on this concept that, while we talk about the castles as separate places, we ultimately view them each as a tower or turret on the Great Spiral. So, the Castle of Stone is home of Cernunius in our system. He is the keeper of the castle and the guardian of its treasure, the Stone Bull. So Cernunius is honored at the summer solstice as the Oak King, and the totems represented in his time of honor are the Oak King, the oak, stag, and the robin. Now, one of the names of the Castle of Stone is the Four-Cornered Castle. In Welsh, Caer Banog. This name becomes carbonic, or something, whatever, carbonic later. Graves suggests that this castle is, in fact, a burial place, like a Kurtstavan, which is formed from 4 stone slabs that make a stone box. Okay, so those little stone mounds. So it is also... it also has been suggested that the four-cornered refers to the castle rotating 4 times, which certainly ties it to its symbolically to the spiral castle. Very interesting, this whole castle idea. I love it. Alright, so Carbonac is an important locale in the Grail myth, as it is the home of Elaine, the Grail maiden, wife of Lancelot, and the mother of Galad. It is here that the Grail is revealed in the saga, when Elaine shows it to Lancelot. So the old French version of this name, Corbenoy, meaning both blessed and blessed horn, alluding to the Grail as a horn of plenty, and blessed body, referring to the Grail as a Eucharistic vessel. So the reference to horn also works nicely as an allusion to the horn god of this keep. So, Carbonac is also heavily associated with ravens, and with Bran, the Blessed. Corbin, which the castle is called, certain parts of the myth, is the old French word for raven. So bronze means raven in Welsh and Cornish, an extant hill fort in Penwith. So Cornwall is associated with Carbonac, and it is called Carbron. The Brythonic possessive version of this name is Cernowec, Castel Diana, or Dinas Bron, castle of the city of Crows. Ooh, that would be neat. In Wales is assumed by scholars to be the most likely site of Carbonac. However, Bron is inseparably tied to the Grail mythologies, in the sense that he, too, went on a voyage in search of a sacred vessel. So the Cauldron of Rebirth, like the Grail King, he was a pierced by a spear and the land suffered until he was healed. So Bran, or Bran, is honored and remembered in the Arthurian cycle as Bronze, one of Arthur's knights, the son-in-law of Joseph of Armida, who of course is said to have brought the Grail as the Cup of Christ into Celtic lands. Very interesting, very interesting. I love this. So the stone castle is no palace, no place of luxury or entertainment. It is a fortress, a place of training and of siege. It is a vault of mysteries. It is a place of safety, and it is a storehouse. It is a seat of power, and it is built at a site of strength, or one with protective needs. So several castles and forts spring to mind when envisioning Caer Banwag for oneself. So the Crack Day chivalries, for instance, is a wonderful example of medieval fortresses. It is a Montian Bailey castle, and it is particularly impenetrable. So it is functional and foreboding, and it takes very little manpower to defend it. So Clifford's Tower in New York, and the Alamo, San Antonio, Texas, and the Castillo del San Marcos, St. Augustine, Florida, are all examples of the stone castle. Alright, now I want to go and see this. I want to see a stone castle. Really, I do. I think that would be amazing to see one of these stone castles. I mean, these are beautiful. These are beautiful. So yeah, oh, that's cool though. The whole snake's turning to, stone, and we know that's not true, but I mean, still, that would be amazing to actually just see, for that to happen. So very interesting. I love that. I'm very, very, very happy with that article. So what do you guys acknowledge the cardinal directions at all within your craft? I mean, in traditional witchcraft, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It just depends on your path, whatever, your tradition. I do sometimes, sometimes I don't. But I mean, I think there is a lot. I feel like it's looked over too much. So for me personally, I kind of hear my grandma telling me to actually study those more and work with those castles. And, help, the energy is there to help us all. So why not? But, very interesting to think about. So, alright guys, I hope you guys have a good weekend. I love you all very much. So, everybody have a great weekend, stay safe, stay healthy, don't get sick, because this is awful. This is terrible. So, I love you all very much. All my heart, all the way from Venus, all the way back down. I can never get that right. There we go. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I cannot talk. So I love you all, and thank you guys for watching.